How to have harder, stronger erections. 10 steps to raging, powerful cock. Viagra for even up to a decade. So what makes one erection limp and one erection legendary? First off, you have to understand that the cock is the literal extension of the man. If the man is strong and powerful and truly showing up in his life, he also shows up in his cock. Potency breeds potency. The cock is the barometer for the man's psychological state and his physical health. Even in allopathic medical circles, a man's erection is known as the canary in the coal mine. So it's the indication of poor health. If the cock is flagging and showing signs of weakness, i.e. a saggy erection, it's often a sign of poor health in the overall man, and even an indicator for heart issues. A man who's living in his true power in all parts of his life also fully occupies his cock and becomes a super cock. That kind of cock that's relentless and can fuck all night, the kind that can bring a woman to heights of orgasms, literally screaming as she comes, as one of my clients likes to say, and is confident of its place in the world and in a woman. So how do you get one of these all-performance super cocks? In my nearly 20-year career of doing this work, I have never once suggested that a guy take Viagra. I have gotten plenty of men off of Viagra though, and have restored their natural state of raging hard cock. So here are 10 things that you can do to have wickedly hard, full, strong, raging erections and grow a super cock. I get turned on even just describing that. Use it or lose it. If you're in between relationships, it's important that you stay connected to your sexual energy. Most guys don't need to be encouraged to self-pleasure, but if you aren't, then I want you to start. And if you are, I bet that you can do it better. And here's what I mean by that. When most guys have sex or they masturbate, they end up feeling tired afterward. And so the right way to masturbate is in a way that makes you feel revitalized afterwards. So I suggest that you have a minimum 3 times a week practice, whether it's self-pleasuring or making love, and I want you to do it in a way that actually hacks your hormones, and you'll build more dopamine and testosterone in the process. So there's very simple techniques that you can incorporate into your regimen. If you check out my How to Last Longer in Bed video here on YouTube, I'll walk you through exactly how to do this. So not only will you be strengthening your erectile powers, but you'll be giving yourself an overall energy and testosterone boost. All important for strong erections. And like I always say, I don't do coffee, I do orgasms. Reduce or eliminate porn. Excessive porn creates this addictive-like dependency where you need greater and greater degrees of stimulation and intensity to get to the same payoff. And so this whole process saps your dopamine and your testosterone, which means weaker and non-existent erections over time. I was really kind of surprised to hear this, but in a way maybe not, but the largest growing demographic for Viagra users is teenage boys. Recent studies have shown that around 30% of boys aged 16 to 21 have issues with erectile dysfunction, i.e. daily porn viewers. They've got nothing left, so go easy on the stuff. Penile weightlifting. You've often seen me and my vagina gallivanting around the world lifting all manner of objects from tropical fruit to Venetian chandeliers, and hey, my vagina even won an Oscar. Well, guys, your cocks can lift weights as well, and they ought to. Having a weak pelvic floor not only leads to incontinence issues, but weakens your erections and your orgasmic control. So just like any other part of your body, it needs to be worked out. So when you strengthen your pelvic floor, you not only have stronger and longer lasting erections, but you have more powerful orgasms, and you can give your partner more powerful orgasms. You can really articulate, flex, move that cock like an independent entity. You get very, very much cock intelligence, as I like to call it. You create your brand new super cock. And believe me, a woman can feel the difference between a guy who works out his cock and one who does not. I go through a full cock weightlifting routine in my Sexual Mastery for Men salon. You can check out the course and the free video preview series. The link is below this video. And if you haven't seen it, head over to my Instagram and check out my travel photos of me and my vagina going from Bali to Morocco to Europe to Los Angeles, lifting things all over the world. You can watch this video also here on YouTube, 10 reasons to lift weights with your vagina. The reasons for cocks and vaginas are pretty much the same. Release stress daily. Stress increases your level of cortisol and decreases your testosterone, which makes your erections droop. So truthfully, a chronically aggro, tense, and anxious man also makes a woman go dry. So you need to have daily outlets where you can relieve your stress and better channel that energy. So a couple of my favorite daily stress relieving techniques are: one, meditation. So meditation actually changes the physical structure of your brain within 8 weeks of starting a daily practice. And the results, you have decreased stress, decreased depression, anxiety, pain, insomnia, and an increased quality of life. And these were recent studies done through a Harvard scientist, researcher. Exercise. Not only will working out relax you, calm your mind, and get you high, but it's also going to build a bigger and stronger cock. So specific exercises like weight or HIIT training increase your dopamine, testosterone, which are essential cock building blocks. Solidify your relationship. When your relationship is solid, your cock will be solid. Guys often don't make the connection that their erection has anything to do with their arousal. Meaning, if you're in the middle of a rough patch with your lover, partner, that will often be reflected in your erection. It may not be as responsive or as strong. Guys have been programmed to believe that they ought to be able to get erections anytime, anywhere. And truthfully, if you follow my suggestions, you can. However, the erection does not lie. If you haven't been getting along with your partner lately and your erection is lackluster, then you have your answer. And once you deal with any underlying issues and resolve them between you, you'll often find that your erection returns in full force. I have a funny story about this erection attraction idea. A guy friend of mine years ago went through a breakup, and he was all excited that now he was single and could go out and sleep with a bunch of women, and he was sleeping with about 4 women at the same time. And he came to me and he was very stressed out, and he said, "I've got this issue, I've never had this before, but I'm having impotency issues and I can't get it up with 3 of the girls of the 4 that I'm sleeping with, but the one that I really like, no problem, I always get an erection with her." And I'm like, how do you not hear what you're saying and put this together? But he didn't, because he had this idea that he should be able to just have an erection and fuck anyone, anytime. Yet the woman he really did have feelings for, it was no problem at all. Stay tuned for part 2 of this series on harder, stronger erections and building supercock, where I give you even more tips for building powerful, wild supercock erections. And in the meantime, you can check out my other videos on cock enlargement and how to last longer in bed and fuck like sting. If you want even more in-depth techniques on cultivating your supercock, sign up for my sexual